Evander, Andrew, and the Trucks. Story written and digitally illustrated by Canadian A1 Productions. Once upon a time, there was a little heritage railway in the eastern part of Canada called the Great Thorold Heritage Railway. Many engines lived here, including two engines named Evander and Andrew. Evander came from the Highland Railway, which meant he was from the mountains of Scotland, while Andrew was just a plain British Railways 9F. Since these two mainly were designed for goods, they would constantly try to one-up each other. Well, mainly Andrew would try to one-up Evander. It was a beautiful Friday morning at St. Catherine's Sheds in Ontario, Canada, and Andrew came up to Evander. "I'm the strongest engine in all of Canada, maybe the strongest engine in all the world."
Oh my goodness, it's already the morning, Andrew. Can you just shut your mouth? No one wants to hear your stupid boasting this early in the morning.
Evander, you can never pull the trains I can pull. I pull the most troublesome trucks on this railway. An engine like me can pull double the workload of an engine like you, Evander. People rely on me to pull these heavy distance goods trains across the country, even as far as the United States of America. Now if you excuse me, my dear Evander, I have to pull my next heavy goods train. Ta-ta! As Evander watched Andrew puff away, he seethed with anger.
You better watch your tender, my dear Andrew. Then I'll show you what Highland engines from Scotland can really do.
It was still early that Friday morning. Andrew had come up with a naughty plan, but he had to go to the yards for it. Andrew knew that Evander's next goods train would be due out in the next 2 hours bound for Niagara Falls. So Andrew professionally switched the two trains into two different sidings. That way, he'd make Evander pull his long, heavy goods train with his very troublesome trucks, and so he can pull Evander's train with his not-so-troublesome trucks, which will make the work easier for him. Oh, Andrew, you're such a genius. Evander will not see it coming. 15 minutes later, Evander came in a bad mood. He was not happy with how Andrew spoke to him in that morning. The truck saw this and took this as their chance to rage bait Evander, make him even more cross.
"Look there, lads. It's a mustard bottle with wheels and a tender. Look how mad he is. Let's make him mad even more, eh?"
The trucks laughed and laughed. Meanwhile, Evander wheeshed steam angrily in order for them to shut up. Evander also biffed into them crossly.
Listen up, you little pieces of shit. I will not tolerate any of your bad behavior. Any more of this and I'll bash you all to pieces. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The truck said meekly.
Good. Now fall in lane.
The shunter fastened the coupling. Evander blew his whistle, and him and the trucks were off.
Let's get on with it. Fall in lane. Release your brakes, and it's off to the falls.
To the long line of trucks, it was almost like they were in the military, and Evander was their military sergeant. At one of the stations down the line, one of the new express engines was just being trialed on the main line. His passengers were disembarking the coaches, and he was just about to depart when he heard loud puffing from behind, along with a loud whistle to match, and along with military sort of chanting. Kinda sounds like a chant they would use in the military. The engine puffed to himself, and puffing past the big engine was Evander and his long line of trucks. The big engine watched in astonishment as the Highland engine came puffing past with his long line of trucks. "Now that is what you call amazing," said the big engine. It just so happened that Andrew was in the yard at the same time, while Evander came puffing past with his long line of goods, and he watched in dismay. My plan didn't work. Maybe it wasn't worth it. Maybe I shouldn't be one-upping another goods engine. I'll talk with him in the morning. And that is exactly what Andrew did.
Well, 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 if it isn't Andrew, the strongest engine in all of Canada, what could you possibly want from a small Highland engine like me?
Listen, Evander, I'm not here for that. I came here to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for boasting and bragging on how strong I was, and now I know that every engine is useful the way they are, including you. I just don't want to make you all feel like you're useless and, not adequate for the work they do. So, I'm sorry, Evander. I'm really sorry. You don't have to forgive me, but
It's okay, big lad. I accept your apology. Just don't go boasting around to others and bragging about how strong you are. Everyone is strong and fast. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, including me. How about this, Andrew? Let's put our differences aside and let's start off fresh. What do you say about that?
I say that's a great idea, Evander. My friend.
Great to hear, Andrew, my friend.
And with that, the constant one-upping between Andrew and Evander was over. This basically just goes to show that we all have our strengths and weaknesses, whether we're strong, we're fast, and we're really athletic. But in the end, we're all the same, really. We're all equal. We're all children of God. God created us humans to make heaven a place on earth. And without stories like these, our world would be a living hell. So in the end, remember, we're all equal. We all have our strengths and weaknesses. We're all different from one another. We are not meant to be perfect. In this world, God made each and every one of us different in our own special way. And well, we should be proud of that. So in the end, be proud of who you are and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise.